Well, it's always a joy to be able to present the Bible Challenge or Scripture Exam, as it was known in the past. We've tried to move away from the terminology of Scripture Exam rather than Bible Challenge. Nobody likes an exam, but everybody likes a challenge. So that's why we decided to try and go with that name as the years go by. Is the BBA coordinator here too? Patricia, won't you find Brian and bring him? I just want to make sure he's here as well, please. Well, let me just talk about next year, first of all. You would have in your handbooks or in your bags received the information for the Scripture Exam or the Bible Challenge for next year. We're continuing trying to build on the theme of rebuilding. So we're going to use the character of Nehemiah next year. So if you're getting ready to think about the lessons and that for next year, all the lessons are going to be based on the book of Nehemiah, and our scripture memory portion is going to be based on Psalm 8. We're going to ask folk to learn Psalm 8, and we're going to be looking next year at the congregational principle. Jonathan this morning spoke about the authority of Scripture. Our Baptist principle that we looked at this last year was on that very subject. So if you're looking for some material on trying to teach the authority of Scripture or the supremacy of Scripture, go to the Bible Challenge webpage and have a look at it on the Baptist Union page, and encourage you to be part of that as well. Quite a number of folk wrote that little exam this year, and it's always exciting to be part of that. So Tembani and I run the Bible Challenge. He does all the marking and does all the exam setting, and I do the material and the administration, and then also the collating of all the marks and printing of certificates and creating the material or finding the material for Scripture Exam. And then I also put together and write the material that we use for our Baptist Principles section. So I really want to encourage you. This year we had about 57 churches that wrote. It's a little less than last year. We had 60. I know there's been a little bit confusion with the date. The problem is that we used to write the exam at the end of the first term. And what we found was it was always being interfered by a number of holidays that happened at that time of the year, end of the first term kind of time. So we were always being asked can we postpone the writing of our exams? So for us to be fair to everybody, we decided to move the exam to the second term so that it gives, there are a lot of our churches in the rural area, they don't have access to internet and all those sort of things as much as other churches do. And so they can then access the information. Sometimes they need to get printed copies of the material from us, and we send it to them. And so a lot of them are only getting the material quite late, and they start learning the material late. So that's why we've decided to move towards the end of the second term. I know it kind of interferes with the mid-year exams a little bit, but what we try and do is finish the Bible Challenge learning before the mid-year exams start, so that they don't affect that as well. So we're trusting that you are enjoying being part of that. Interestingly, more and more other denominational churches are being involved. Other churches are seeing the value of the children in their Sunday school learning the Scriptures. So I'm challenging us. We call ourselves people of the book, don't we? So come on, we need to get our children in the Word. I'm also encouraged this year, since Tembani and I have taken over the administration of Bible Challenge, that this year we have, since we've kept records, we have about 20 people who have written 10 years in a row, and about 50 people who have written 5 years in a row. And every year that number is growing. So what it kind of tells me is the people who are writing scripture exam or Bible challenge are really enthusiastic and see the value of it in their own lives. And I'm sure that you will also, if you're ever part of this as a younger person, I certainly recall passages of scripture I learned as a young child writing Bible challenge many, many years ago, and then in the churches that I've pastored that we've encouraged to write. Normally what I do with the church that I pastor is I preach on those passages of scripture that the Bible challenge are focusing on. And what I'm doing this year and I have done before is we give you a sermon that you can preach on that particular subject. So it's amongst the Bible challenge material, there's a sermon for each of the lessons that you can present, an outline of one, you add your own illustrations, you add your own kind of thoughts to it, and make it your own. So enough of the talk. I know most people have come here not to listen to me, but to hear who the winning Sunday schools are, and the Sunday schools have done the top 10. So I've asked Timbani and I've asked Greg to come and join him. And no, not. I'll just wait over there. I want you to wait. So the 10th Sunday school is Bethel Baptist in Stanger. Is there a representative here? Okay, just keep it. Okay, then it's Calvary Baptist Church. Where is they from? Which one is it? But there's more than one Calvary, so I just need to make sure which one it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll have to have a look at my list. Number 8, Beacon Valley. Somebody here from Beacon Valley? Hey? Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's take it out there. Number 7 is Finland Baptist. Oh, he's not. And let me say, Beverly is one of those who've done 10 years in a row. So well done to her personally as well. And then next is Ngobo Baptist. Number 6. 6. There we go. I didn't say this. Number 5 is Guze. In the bathroom. Okay, while we wait for him, number 4 is New Hope. Number 3 is Tekeni Trinity.
the mango was. What the mango was, what the negative mainstream. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Cruise.
Oh, who's it? Yeah, there is it. Make it fit.
Number 2 is Westridge Baptist. Somebody here? So many ask me, how do we calculate these figures? How do we calculate who wins? Because some churches have got 50 learners and others have got 10. So what we do is we assign a value to those that are got an honors, which is over 90%, those that have got distinction, which is over 75%, those that have got a first class pass, which is over 60%, and those who have passed, and those who have participated. Then we add those all up, and then we divide it by the number of learners that there are and work out a percentage from there. So it doesn't matter how many have learned or how many have written in that particular Sunday school. Like in some Sunday schools, we have over 50 or 100 children who write. Some have less than 10. So even amongst us here, we have a Sunday school who've got less than 10 who's made it into the top 10. And the reason is the church, and the reason I wanted Brian here is the church that's number 1 is Lubabalo. There we go. So amongst all the work that he has done in preparing for the assembly is he's been helping his church work as well and getting ready for scripture exam as well. Thank you. Just one final thing, you will notice that a number of our border churches are here. It's not that we are biased, I promise you. But this is the work that Tembani, and we have a committee that runs the Sunday schools in the border area. And Tembani has been doing that for many years and he and his team have laid a tremendous foundation for children's ministry in our area. So we're asking you to invite him to come to your area to talk about Bible Challenge. We will even pay for him to go there if need be. He's been up to Venda, and we've been trying to go to KwaZulu-Natal. We haven't managed to achieve that yet. But if you want him to come and talk about Bible Challenge and what it's all about, please speak to us. We will ensure that he comes there. You give us a time slot, he'll come and tell you about it and train you of how to do it effectively as well. Thank you very much.